Eden has always fascinated me, even when I was a kid, long before I came to the faith and had my own encounter with God. The accounts in the Bible of the Garden of Eden and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil has always inspired wonder and confusion in equal measure. Even thinking about it now, there are tons of questions in my mind about the nature of that tree, but chief among them has always been, as it undoubtedly has for a lot of you guys, is why would God have even plopped a tree there which would lead to human decay once consumed? Why would he have done that? It's definitely a bone of contention between atheists and followers alike. Even biblical scholars don't seem to universally agree on the reason from the little bit of research that I've done into this. But one thing is certain, without that tree and without Eden being central to the creation narrative, which I do believe, Christianity and Judaism falls apart. It's a fascinating question. Why did God put the tree there that he knew had the capacity to shroud his perfect creation in darkness and allow sin to enter into it? It's worth thinking about. Well, this young lady had a similar interaction as a young Christian where her atheist friend asked her that very question and she was lost for words. But here's the thing. The most reverent and godly thing you can do in such a case is to simply say, I don't know. It's refreshing. As human beings, remember that we are the creation, not the creator, and we'll never know all the mysteries of God and the subtle intricacies and fine details of his almighty creation. And guess what? That's perfectly okay. As Christians, we're not supposed to know it all, and we never were. God saw fit to keep this information to himself, because how else would he recognize faithfulness? If God gave us our lives from the dirt, then gave us creation to behold and the plants and animals and rivers and oceans, only to make sure there was no way we could deviate from his will, how would he know our love for him was sincere? After going over the potential reasons behind the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that became the obvious answer for me. How would God know if Adam and Eve's loyalty and love for the Father was sincere and from a place of honesty, if there was no possibilities to stray and to deviate from his will for them? This, to me, answers the question. I'm only a baby Christian myself, I'm new to the faith, and I've got plenty to uncover about God and the mysteries, and I'm confident that the ride's not always going to be plain sailing. But I do know that the faith I have tells me that even if I don't know why God does a thing, that thing is the best possible thing that could happen. There's a reason that the phrase "do not be afraid" is echoed 365 times in the Bible, and it's because in all things, the God who created all of us, when he could have left the earth as he'd made it, flawless, beautiful and perfect, is in control and oversees everything from a place of love, regardless of whether or not you or I understand any of it. We're not to be afraid. We're to simply maintain faith in the one and only God who maintained faith in all of us in the days of Adam and Eve, through the days of Noah to Abraham and Moses, Jacob, Elijah, David and Solomon, and eventually Jesus, and eventually you and me. God has been faithful to us from the very beginning, and his faith in us all is every bit as strong as it was back in the days of Adam. You might feel a bit disconnected from the Father, and fair enough. The world can feel a bit godless sometimes, but make no mistake, the reason it feels as though God is taking a back seat in some situations is down to you and me, the wider society, world leaders and so on, not because God doesn't care. So why would he pop a tree in the garden, which meant we'd discover our shame and have aspirations of being more than we were made to be? The answer is another question. How would God know there was faithfulness if there were no potential temptations?